Well, Zoom just told me that you're live, so something worked.
Perfect. So it's loading right now. So you'll see on the top left screen when we do go live for people moderating the event. So I'm going to be handling both. So there's not going to be any feedback issues. So I'll be able to hear what's going on YouTube and on Zoom. So there's no issues for Andrew when you're moderating the event. Let me go ahead and put that on pause. All right, so looks like that works. So when that's going on, I'll go ahead and give Andrew a cue, just so anyone who's watching over Zoom knows, and we'll go ahead and do that at the top of the call. So there's no awkward moments while that's loading. But that's pretty much it. It looks like the tech setup is working. I went ahead and went through a brief overview of what to expect the day of. Does anyone have any questions before the event next Monday?
I do. That would be me, Tim. So I've read the questions. They're lovely, and thank you for sending them. At the end of the hour, what are your hopes and dreams that people will take away from this?
I hope that they'll be able to take actionable tips to really help them with their choir. I've noticed, because I have the email address associated with people who are registering for the event, I've already had people ask me really high quality questions, like, for example, how do I even go about setting up, a virtual rehearsal? Do I need licensing? Are there any licensing requirements when I have an event through Zoom? Are there other platforms that I can use that are trusted? So all in all, I really hope that people are able to take away actionable tips from this discussion and really apply it to their choirs.
Well, that's helpful. Thank you. We've been on many of these that are just depressing.
My hope is that this is very different, which is why we framed it that way. Just so that way, we're talking about what we can do now versus, just focusing on the current situation. How can we really make do with the resources we have? And that's the reason why we're so excited to have this incredible lineup and have you all take the time to participate, because I know it's really going to help a lot of people.
Has anybody on this call figured out a successful rehearsal?
A successful rehearsal. Let's see, looks like a few people.
Yeah, this is not really helpful.
Well, it depends on what you mean by successful, Tim.
Well, there you go.
I mean, you know all this already.
You have to define success for yourself. The Gala Chorus directors, we meet once or twice a week with this same frustration. I was just curious if anybody had more success than we have in actually having a rehearsal where you can hear the singers.
I'll let you know. I'm going to try on Thursday, heading up to a rural part of Minnesota to do a rehearsal and a remote beer choir virtual happy hour from a machine shed in the woods that has, it's about 1,800 square feet. And there will be 70 or so singers there with a ventilation system. We're going to give it a try and we'll see what happens. So,
masks.
Yes. And distance. Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Sorry if I'm asking too much detail. I just met you, Adam. Do you have any sort of control set up to know, to be able to measure if there's any difference 2 weeks after, in the singers who show up? I'm just curious.
It is really set up as a test, kind of for this organization, the Staples Area Men's Chorus. They are a predominantly older men's chorus, and so some of the folks are opting out, and that's understand. But they're trying to start this test as an option to see what happens in 10 days time.
Right.
And so they're having a doctor on site and everything, with testing and walking in and doing the whole temperature thing, everything. So half outdoors, half indoors, big garage doors that go through. So we're going to give it a try and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. That's what I meant is there, that sounds like you've got the ability to measure that if there's change after 10 days, which is what I was curious about.
Yeah, the director of that organization is extremely interested in measurables. So he's trying it as an option.
Okay, great. Are there any other questions? Oh, Terrence, if you're speaking, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
I can say a little bit about this. I have a sing back policy. That's basically what we can do. And if I have 3 or 4 singers out of a section of 15 or 16 that sing the part back to me perfectly. I pretty much figure that the section has it, and we go into section breakout rooms during rehearsal, and the hope is that when we come together, it'll all be all right, because I'm getting the singbacks that sound pretty good, so all is hopeful. So that's why, because we're not in the same room, but it's pretty I think it's a pretty good measure for what each section is able to do when you can get 3 or 4 good singbacks or bad singbacks.
All right. So if we don't have any more questions, I believe that's it for the rehearsal. Of course, you all have my email address, my cell phone numbers, and my signature. So anytime you need to reach me, you can go ahead and call me or email me. If you're having any issues getting into the Zoom room the day of the panel, just go ahead and give me a call on my cell phone and I'll go ahead and help you navigate that. But it looks like everyone was able to join today, except for Maria. So I'll go ahead and touch base with her one-on-one to get her prepared for the virtual event on Monday. But thank you again, everyone, for your time. We're really excited to have you all participate in this event. And we're really hopeful that every attendee that watches this virtual panel next Monday will really be able to take a lot away from it for their own choirs.
You may have already said this. I'm sorry if I missed it, but could you send us a link to the YouTube channel where it'll be live streamed as well?
Yep, absolutely. I'll go ahead and send that right after this call. Great. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, any questions leading up to the panel, go ahead and reach out to me. But we're looking forward to it. We'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.